But yesterday, it started to go viral when it came out that Brittney Griner, WNBA player Brittney Griner, had been arrested, detained. A lot of those words were getting thrown around for Brittney Griner in Russia. And if you could imagine a worst possible time for there to be an American citizen of note, I wouldn't necessarily call a WNBA player like Brittney Griner some sort of massive celebrity, but someone who's notable enough to make it into the news. Not a good time for that to happen when you look at geopolitical situations. Mm-hmm. But Brittney Griner detained in Russia. Everything we know about WNBA star's hashish oil situation. WNBA superstar has been detained in Russia on drug trafficking charges after hashish oil was discovered in her luggage by the customs official. Phoenix Mercury star and WNBA icon Brittney Griner was detained in Russia on Saturday after customs officials discovered what they determined to be an illegal drug. Russian officials took Griner into custody after the oil was discovered among her belongings. Making matters even more troubling is the fact that it appears Griner was detained back in February, despite news of the incident only reaching the States on Saturday. It's unclear how long she's been in custody, as no official date of detainment was given. While cannabis is legal in certain parts of Europe and the United States, where Griner plays professionally both during the WNBA and the offseason, the charge Griner's facing carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. And we do have a little bit of this footage. I don't think there's any audio with it, but you can see, is this a Black Lives Matter shirt?
Says,
Black Lives something peace.
Oh, no, it says Black Lives for Peace.
Black Lives for Peace is what Brittney Griner was wearing while she was going through. So she's obviously getting ready to travel, puts her stuff in there. It's like, this is, it's just Russia. No big deal. Sure, nobody gives a shit. Well, this guy did, and they started testing everything. U.S. save her, someone says. And the rest of it's basically just them looking at it and pulling it out of her bag and looking at all this stuff. Now, whether it was a random search, there's Brittney Griner right there pointing stuff out. But whether it was just a random search or they saw it in the x-ray, I do not know at this point. Again, it's been a little bit crazy, the different information that's coming out. Due to a number of factors, including low wages and salaries offered to WNBA players, that's what this is going to be about too. You're about to see, well, the reason this happened to Brittney Griner was because she has to play in the offseason because they don't get enough money in the WNBA.
Let me stop you right there. It's actually amazing that I'm assuming that she gets a max contract, which is like $250K. It's amazing that she gets that, considering the average WNBA team loses $10 million. They don't make any money.
Yeah. I mean, she should be paying to play. She should be paying to play in all reality.
Yeah.
However, in the wake of Russia's invasion, U.S. citizens have been working to leave the country and return home. On Saturday, State Department issued a do not travel advisory due to belief that any American citizens could be subjected to the potential for harassment. Griner's detainment was revealed not long after this advisory was handed down. The reason stems from the hashish oil being discovered among vaping paraphernalia found in luggage that Griner was attempting to travel out of the country with. I guess if you vape, be careful if you're going to Russia. I suppose that's the lesson. What is hashish oil? It's simply called hash oil. It's a form of cannabis. Hash oil is exactly what it sounds like. Essential oil mixture extracted from cannabis to form a concentrate that can be consumed using a vape pen. It doesn't appear to be a Miami Vice cocaine cowboy situation where Briner's attempting to move large quantities of it. She simply had some hash oil that she smokes with her vape pen, something millions of people across the world do every day. Unfortunately, if it's not legal there, then you shouldn't have it there. So go ahead.
She's in Russia. I mean, even here in Texas where I'm at, weed is illegal. But I believe if you go to California, I believe it is legal. I mean, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, it ain't no big deal. It's a big deal. I mean, Russian prisons are not like the Beverly Hills Hotel. That's probably not a place I want to be going to jail in.
I do think that Brittney Griner would end up dominating whatever like women's Russian prison she got sent to. You know what I mean? I think she will be safe when you're talking about that. But yeah, especially like when you're traveling internationally for someone who obviously has before, because she's played so much for Russia in the off season, she probably is aware of all these things.
Yeah.
And now, and now her stupidity is resulting in what could be a massive problem between the United States and Russia over something very trivial and very fucking stupid.
I went on a vacation a few years back to Cancun. On the way back to the United States, I was in line, ready to board my plane. They pulled me out of line and searched my carry-on bags. If they found something, folks, you do not want to be in a Mexican prison. You do not. It is disgusting. She had to know what she was carrying was illegal. How long has she been playing in Russia?
Over 5 years. I think they said 2014, if I recall. Let me make sure I'm not. Since 2014. There's a fucking typo. Since 20014. But yeah, 2014.
Yeah, she knows the rules, man. That's pretty dumb. Why would you bring that in your carry-on luggage, knowing it's gonna get X-rayed? That's pretty dumb.
Yeah, it's very stupid from Brittney Griner. And obviously, again, like I said, a large part of this is going to be people pushing for this. The enormous wage gap and insulting pay disparity between NBA and WNBA players has been the subject of intense criticism recently, especially given the growth of the WNBA across the last few seasons. Yeah, they doubled their viewership, 2 to 4. Congratulations.
It's irrelevant, though.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant to the conversation why she got arrested.
100%. What they're going to do is say the reason she was there is because she needs to play overseas in order to make a living. Despite the fact that, I mean, her contract is $1 million for a 3-year contract with the Phoenix Mercury.
Okay.
So, I mean, that'd be nice. I'd take $1 million over 3 years.
She makes more than me. She's in the top 1%. I mean, well, let's not even say that. If she's making $250,000, are we supposed to have any sympathy for her because she's not making more? No, she's making more money than me.
Yeah, I certainly don't need to go to Russia to find a job if I'm making $250,000 a year.
Yeah.
But because they're not making $40 million, it's a big problem.
Well, they don't bring in the revenue. It's that simple. Yeah. They don't bring in. I know we trash the NBA. The NBA makes a shit ton of money. Mm-hmm. The WNBA, any changes that is implemented into the WNBA, guess who has to approve it? The NBA's board of governors. Why? Because they're fronting the money. Yeah, it's their money.
The NBA is literally a virtue signal. The WNBA is literally a virtue signal for the NBA to show how much they care about women's athletics. It started back in like the whole Title IX stuff. Like when that push was on, everything like that. That's when the WNBA really started going and the NBA started pushing it and, we're partnered with them for this and that. But yeah, it loses money every year. All it is a way for the NBA to say, look what we're doing for female athletics. Yeah. That's all it is.
You even got the WNBA commissioner coming out because, they fined the New York Liberty $500,000 for chartered flights because they consider that a competitive advantage. So they got fined $500,000. WNBA commissioner comes out and said if every team did that, then that would definitely hurt the financials of the WNBA. They can't even afford to provide reasonable accommodations for their players. That's how bad that financial situation is.